my eye. Through the mist, my surprise shone light from distant northern skies. At that point, I realized I don't know where it comes from, but I know it's okay. If this is all an illusion, then I'm willing to play.
Welcome to the Quantum Guide Show, interviews with awakened masters as they share their quantum work with you. The Quantum Guide Show is produced by Karen Holton, creator of the 9 Steps to Quantum Health Transformation, a free 9-step online course to give you the tips and resources you need to thrive. Karen lost and continues to keep off 178 pounds of surplus body weight as she made her dreams come true. Whether you are awakening to the ascension process or simply want a wiser, more efficient lifestyle, this program is for you. No strings attached. The Quantum Guide Show is brought to you in part by Zendome's Orgonite, Karen's unique brand of orgone generators, ethically sourced, handmade, and double charged for maximum effect. Find out how orgone generators work and what they can do for you. Don't be fooled by imitations. Check out Karen's current selection, only available from her website, KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com, and on Facebook, facebook.com/Quantum Health Transformation. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Quantum Guide Show. Today, in episode 82, I'm going to share more from my free online program called Quantum Health Transformation. As I share from Step 6, Part 1, we discover various ways that we might be inadvertently poisoning ourselves and learn what we can do about this. Thank you so much for joining me for the show. Oh my goodness, what a week it has been. I know last week I promised that Rex Bear would be on the show today, and truth of the matter is we met actually yesterday and we tried to record the interview and the discussion, and everything went wrong that could go wrong. We were communicating through email. My email went down. I don't know what happened to the link that I sent Rex. Anyway, to make a long story short, my computer kept glitching out on me and I had to restart it. And when I restarted it, of course, I had to close Zoom, and Rex hadn't arrived yet because he didn't get the link because my email was acting up. And then I had to, close Zoom in order to reboot my computer, and I rebooted. By the time I was ready, he had come and gone and thought that I wasn't coming. And so anyway, the good news is he's still eager to be on the show, and I'm looking very much forward to having him back in September, or if we haven't got a date. We don't have a date set yet because I'm relying on my faulty email. So much for renewing Outlook, Microsoft Outlook and the Office suite, because ever since I did that, I'm having all kinds of problems. I don't know. Apparently, everybody's having problems with their tech. It isn't just me. So I am sad to say that Rex Bear couldn't make it today, but he will be back in the next few weeks, and we'll do the show then. And in the meantime, I've got some more interesting information to share with you from the Quantum Health Transformation Program. By the way, this video may or may not be distributed on Facebook. Facebook has decided that the Quantum Guide Show and my other show that I co-host with Dave Petrella called Aliens and Astrology, that we go against their community standards. Now, they're targeting me for spam, but I don't really get that, because we're not selling anything. We're not trying to mislead the public. And the Quantum Health Transformation Program that I talk about in the intro of each of my Quantum Guide shows, That's an absolutely free online program. In fact, it cost me thousands of dollars to bring it to you. I'm the one that has paid to be able to bring you an absolutely free program with no strings attached. So if you like the program today, please do go to my website and check it out, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com, and click the free resources tab and look for the quantum health transformation. And it's all there nicely laid out for you. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's getting kind of intense what's going on with Facebook. I don't know whether it's because the Canadian government is now involved in the censorship program. I don't know, because we're not given information. What we're given is behavior modification techniques without any chance of us being able to speak back to the powers that be and find out what we did wrong, or correct it, because most of us want to cooperate at least as much as we can. So the other thing I want to tell you, because it's kind of funny before we get started, is Facebook. Last time not last time today, but the last time, I think yesterday or the day before, when I went into my Facebook profile, up came a little screen that asked me if I wanted to take a survey. And I thought, well, this is probably my only chance of giving them some feedback, so I'll do it. And it didn't take very long. The first thing they asked me is whether or not I felt that Facebook was removing too much content. And I said yes. And then they asked me if I had had any notices that I had gone against community standards in the last week or so. And I said yes. And I thought that was weird, because they would know that they were already targeting me, wouldn't they? I don't know. But anyway, so I said yes. Oops, better turn my phone off. And then they said, they asked me if I agreed with their decision. And I said, no. I mean, they only gave you a tick boxes, yes or no, right? So I said no. I wanted to say more, but I couldn't. And then here's the interesting thing. They said, how bad did it make you feel? And they gave me 5 options. The first one was not bad at all. The second one was slightly bad. It just got worse and worse to extremely bad was the 5th option. And so I clicked on the box for slightly bad, because it is a bit frustrating to have your content removed and or restrictions placed on and my posts made invisible. It is a bit frustrating when I haven't done anything wrong. And I've been very careful not to use any buzzwords. I've gotten off the topic of politics completely. And, I don't think they're actually checking my content. I think they're just got a robot or something that picks up the first few bars of my introduction and goes, oh, this is the same thing, and she's sending it out over and over again. I'm guessing, because like I said, they don't give you any feedback. But from this survey, what I discovered was they are trying. So I've been targeted now for about a month, and they've claimed everything I have posted as far as videos that from the Quantum Guide Show or from Aliens and Astrology, claiming that it's spam and I'm trying to take advantage of people. And of course I disagree, but nobody gets back to me. I get a notice saying, oh, because of COVID, there's nobody in the office, so it might take us a while. We might never get back to you. And I'm going, gee, thanks a lot. And so that's been going on and going on and going on. And now they want to know how bad it makes me feel. And I think actually this is a behavior modification technique, because what they want me to do, I'm guessing, is let them know how bad I'm feeling so that they can data mine my psychology. Or maybe they're just doing a cross section of people and they want to data mine our psychology, and they want to see which of their techniques helps us to feel bad, probably thinking that if we feel bad enough, we will alter our behavior. So this is just too weird for weird. And it actually is more than that. Today I found out they have removed all kinds of people who were my friends. So if you've sent me a friend request, check and see if I've accepted it. If I haven't, If it says I haven't, because I probably did, just please send me another request. The other thing is, so the people, like for instance, Susan Walter, who's a friend of mine, she's been on the show. She's coming back in a couple of weeks. Well, maybe not till the beginning of October. I'm kind of booked, but we're friends on Facebook. So I noticed that I was not allowed to be not friends with her anymore. And I thought that's strange. So I tried to refriend her and it wouldn't let me. And on her pages, she's got a message tab, and I clicked on that and wrote a nice letter explaining what had gone on. And then it said, you cannot post this. You cannot use Messenger to contact this person. I'm thinking, what? It's so weird. So then yesterday, the other thing that's really weird, I get an email from Susan saying, hey, Karen, you wanted me to remind you to come back on your show so we can talk about her near-death experience. I didn't even finish reading it. And my email, which is Microsoft, from the Microsoft Office suite that I renew every year, and I just renewed it like a couple of weeks ago, it dissolved the email, and there was no record that I had even received it. So it wasn't in the received file, it wasn't in the junk file, it wasn't in the deleted file, it was nowhere. And I'm going, ooh, this is just getting weirder and weirder. So I don't know, people are blaming it on, sunspots and solar flares and this and that. And I kind of go, no, I don't think so, because all the cables that that are used for us to have the internet, they're all underground or under the ocean. They're not dependent on the atmosphere. So I really don't think that's what it is. So anyway, I'll quit complaining. I'm not meaning to complain. I'm just letting you know what's going on, so that if you don't hear back from me. The other thing is, I've had just lately quite a few people contact me through my website trying to sell me services and products, which I didn't ask them to do, and newsletters that I didn't sign up for and things like that. So just so you know, I'm just deleting them. So please don't send me any junk mail, because I'll just delete it, mark it as spam. However, if you want to write to me because you've got an interesting topic and you want to be on the show, or if you just want to email me and tell me what you appreciate or don't appreciate about my programming, or you have questions around the Quantum Health Transformation Program, or if you are thinking about hiring me for my vital services, which is also on my website, then please do send me an email, because I definitely want to hear from you. So anyway, there we go. All the housekeeping over and done with. So today we're going to talk about the Quantum Health Transformation Step 6. Now, before we get started in that, I want you to know that the first 3 steps, I know this is very counterintuitive, but the first 3 steps are step 9, step 8, and step 7. Step 9 teaches you more about quantum physics and the whole concept of using a nubby ball as an analytical tool, so that you're not just using the dichotomy of this or that, up or down, black or white, good or bad. The nubby ball helps you to flush everything out. I'll just quickly show you. So that's in step 9. So the first 3 steps are to help you to open your mind and to think more analytically. So this represents a nubby ball, and assuming that the topmost point and the bottommost point are the polar opposites of good and bad, or black and white, or even gender, or anything like that. This ball, in the theory or in the abstract, has infinite number of nubs. So the likelihood of somebody being 100% evil or 100% good is very unlikely. Most of us would fall around the equator, where most of the nubs would fall on the nubby ball. And so I teach you how to use this conceptual tool, and I also teach you how to use it to do your light shadow work. So that's in step 9. Step 8 is all about grounding and different techniques that are actually technologies. They're naturally occurring built into the system of reality that we live in, technologies that you can take advantage of that can help you ever so much. And that also includes the use of orgone generators. And you'll see I have a beautiful, beautiful selection and quite a few still available from my website. Now, my friend who was making them is no longer making them. I am looking for a new Canadian supplier. I haven't found one yet. And so they may be the only ones I have. I don't know. We'll see. Step 8 is opening your mind to the natural technologies that you could be using to improve your mood, your health, your spirituality, your emotions, all that kind of stuff. Then the last time I was on the Quantum Guide Show, we talked about step 7. And step 7 is all about integrating your male-female energies. So just like in step 9, we talked about our light and shadow work that needs to be done for us to be full human beings and for us to understand what's going on in the world and to take advantage of both the light and shadow aspects of ourselves. So step 7 does a very similar thing, except it's basically with our male and female energies. I also put in quite a good segment about what it means to be transgender, what that might look like. Why are so many people now claiming to be transgender? What is happening? And so those are the first 3 steps that are all about opening your mind. Now we're moving into the second 3 steps, which is step 6, 5, and 4, which is all about how to do detoxification. So there's external detoxification, that's part 1, internal detoxification, step 6, part 2, and emotional detoxification, which is step 6, part 3. Then you move into step 5, which is all about food. How should we be eating? How shouldn't we be eating? What should we be avoiding and what should we perhaps be eating more of? And I don't adhere to any one eating program. So whether you're a vegan, unless you're breatharian, but if you're a vegan or a vegetarian or you're paleo or you're sorry, I forgot the name, where you eat mostly protein and vegetables, you don't do any carbs. Okay, so all of that, it doesn't matter how you eat or what your preference is. And I get into that. It has to do with genetics and all kinds of things that are really important to remember about food and common pitfalls that people fall into. So eating is also a part of detoxifying. We need to detoxify from a garbage diet that this world passes off. The system keeps us really busy, so it's hard to have time for proper shopping and cooking, and so people take advantage of sort of prefabricated meals and takeout and stuff like that. And so I basically let you find out about how that is harming your body and how your body needs the components that are from real food. Real food is a pre-packaged delivery system for the elements, which is vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, terpenes, pigment, all kinds of things that just isn't talked about, that is there to give your body temple everything it needs so that it can hold the frequency so that you can live your best life and so that you can have a spiritual component that maybe you never experienced before that's ever so rewarding. And that could include contact with other realms and all kinds of things. And then step 4 is going to be about how to detoxify from the construct, from the system, how to get rid of that programming that's brainwashed us so that we're not seeing the obvious. It's right in front of us of ways of doing and being that are ever so rewarding. Then the last 3 steps are 3, 2, and 1. And I'll be talking about spiritual things. So once you've done step 9, 8, and 7, then you're ready for step 6, 5, and 4. And once you've detoxified, opened your mind and detoxified, now you're ready for the higher teaching to help soothe and enhance your spiritual life. And that's the Quantum Health Program in its entirety. So I am just going to go and screen share. And there it is right there. So as I did in the last the last 3 steps, this is an overview of the complete program. So we already covered, I think in Quantum Guide Show episode 76, step 9, which is loosely associated with the chakra I call black, and it's located actually about maybe 10 inches, 9 inches below your feet. And a lot of people don't even know that that exists. But then we also talked about grounding, which was step 8, and that is loosely associated with your root chakra. We did step 7, orange, which is loosely associated with your sacral chakra. And now we're on to step 6, part 1, that's loosely associated with your solar plexus. And it's all very, very important, but I really suggest you start at the bottom and you slowly work your way up. And so step 9 is in episode 76. Step 8 is in episode 79. Step 7 is in episode 80, or is it 81? And today is in episode 82. Now, the links will be conveniently located directly below this video in the description, so you can click on them if you've missed out and find your way so that you can watch them. So again, this is step 6, yellow, detoxify and the power of emotion. And this is taken from the PDF primer. Now, the program is completely free. It's over 20 videos, but I do ask for $3.99 Canadian, which is like maybe $3 American, not much, but it helps. Every little bit helps me to cover my expenses because this is a completely free program. And as I had mentioned before, it actually costs me money to put this together and to get it out there. And it's ever so important, which is why I am willing to do this. But the PDF is, like I said, $3.99. And the advantage of the PDF is all the links will be right there. So you can easily find your way to extra information as it's offered within this primer. And you also can share it if you want to, or just keep a copy. It's up to you. So there is both in the videos, there's a live video, and there's also the primer. And the primer, I go through basically the same information. It's narrated. I've got extra comments in there. And then the live presentation is me either teaching somebody else or perhaps how to make the kind of products that I'm going to show you today for basically pennies. Save yourself a whack of money. So yeah, you want to start with step 9 and work your way up. And as I mentioned before, this information is taken from my training and my personal life experience. I do have a bachelor degree in social work as a generalist, and this is where I received my training as a counselor, also in substance use and addictions and that kind of thing that I use in my counseling. So again, I'm just going to mention that you could click on the shop and then on the vital services tab if you want to see the services that I have available. The other thing is this program works great for me, but I want you to not just buy it. What I mean by buy it is I'm not talking about purchasing for money. I'm talking about buying it as being truth or the only way of doing something. What is really important is that you take a look at the information and use it as a jumping off point to find your own way of doing things. Because this is not all about doing what I say or doing what I do. It's to help stimulate your mind, your imagination, increase your knowledge and your wisdom so that you can make good decisions for yourself. So if there's any part of this program that doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. Just leave it out and continue on. That's what I recommend. And as I mentioned before, please feel free to copy, distribute, use this material. If you are an educator, you can include it in your programming if you see that being of benefit. And the only thing I ask is that you give me credit, because I've actually worked quite hard on this program and for quite a while to get it ready for you. And I think that giving me credit would be the right thing to do. So I'm going to thank you ahead of time for doing that. Here's my disclaimer. It's basically saying that nothing I present has been evaluated by the government or any of the regulatory agencies, either in Canada or the United States. And buyer beware before you purchase anything from me. Do your own research. So today we're going to talk about detoxification. There's 3 parts to detoxification. There's external detoxification, internal detoxification, and emotional detoxification, and the power of your emotions, all of them. So today we're going to mainly focus on external detoxification. What do I mean by that? What I mean is we need to be very careful what comes in contact with our skin. So that could be personal care products, that could be cleaning products, that could be all kinds of things that when they're in contact with your skin, you actually absorb it. You see, 20% of your blood is flowing through your skin all the time, and it picks up nutrients like from the sun. That's how you make vitamin D. There are quite a few medications now available in a patch that you just put on your skin and your body will absorb it. So I guess the nicotine patch would be a good example of that. So what happens is everything we come in contact, part of it is absorbed into our system. Do we want to absorb toxic chemicals into our system? I think not. That's holding a lot of people back. So I have a picture here of a little boy, I think, and he's quite obese. And that is another thing. A lot of people are having trouble with obesity, and I've battled it all my life. It's not like, that I'm singling out. I'm not fatophobic or anything like that, but I'm going to show you how we actually inadvertently might be poisoning ourselves. And what the body does is anything it takes in, whether it's by mouth or through the skin, that is not good for us, our body doesn't recognize it as being healthful. So what it does in an attempt to protect us is it isolates those elements in fat cells, which are mostly water, and it keeps them away from the vital organs and the circulatory system in an effort to protect us. So you might be on the strictest of diets, although fasting is fairly detoxifying. If you don't stop poisoning yourself, there's pretty much not much you can do. And these things lead to sickness and also to obesity. So I'm just going to read from here. We must stop poisoning ourselves. Everything we use on our skin, in our mouths, on our hair, etc., is absorbed into our physical bodies. If you apply chemicals to your body, you may become sick and will very likely become obese. In an effort to maintain health, your body will develop fat tissue in order to isolate the absorbed synthetic chemicals, which are toxic to your body and your mind, and synthetic chemicals can also cause disease. So, things like most people know that things like cancer and heart disease and diabetes are a direct result of our lifestyle. But I'm wondering how many people also recognize that this has an effect on our mind and our emotions. So somebody might be using toxic chemicals on their body and not realizing that that's causing them to become mentally ill. They go to the doctor gives them a prescription for, medication for depression or anxiety, and that just adds to the problem. And people just aren't getting better. The funny thing is, I'm 66 years old, and when I was young, people who took pills only took them for a short period of time, a week, maybe 2 weeks. People didn't take pills long term. What I noticed today, and especially with working with seniors, is that they never get off the pills. They just add more pills to the pills. And it's a weird kind of social thing where all these people carrying around these bags of pills, and they sit down and have coffee together, and they talk about the different drugs they're on, and they show each other their pills. And worse yet, share each other's pills, without any medical advice at all, just thinking, well, maybe it's this, I had that, and this is what the doctor gave me. And it's just a whole fiasco. My dear mother, before she passed away, she lived in a senior's residence, and there was a lot of that going on. Anyway, so we'll just continue on here. So common toxic chemicals found in personal care products are called obesogens. Yes, that's a real thing. That is what they're called, because they cause people to become obese. And your body sees them as a threat, and so they must store them away in fat cells in an effort to protect your health. Only 100% unadulterated botanical products should be used on your body, and these must be food grade. We are integrated beings who are dependent on this planet and the bounty that she produces. Please reconsider the personal care and household cleaning products you use, as well as the fabrics that you wear. It's very hard to find organic cotton anymore. There's GMO cotton, and what that means is the cotton actually has the herbicides and insecticides built right into it. So then you wear the clothes and you're being exposed to that. It's horrendous. Then there's all this synthetic clothes and fabrics out there that are from oil products, and they outgas and they break down. That's why they don't last very long. And they're really toxic for your body too. And it's really funny too that in this day and age where they're all talking about climate control and we have to get rid of the petro and the gas. But you know what? That's what they make all the pharmaceuticals out of. That's what they make all our clothing out of, unless we're rich enough to go to the high-end stores and get organic cotton or hemp or something like that. It's very, very expensive. Most of us are just trying to put a roof over our head and eat 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day, Anyway, so, that's a big hoax. You can't have gas for your car, but, you can have all these pharmaceuticals, and you can wear all these synthetic clothes and all these plastic containers and microwavable dishes. And it's all petro, all the plastic bags, all the those disposable face masks, all those sickness test kits. Give me a break. I don't know how stupid they think we are, but anyway, I better be quiet and zip it before I get this video deleted, which I don't want to have happen because the information is so important. So it's time to empty your toxic storage sites. And as I mentioned, only 100% food grade ingredients should be on, on your skin or in your hair. Okay. And please reconsider the personal care and the household cleaning products that you use, as well as the fabrics that you wear. The first step to detoxification is to stop poisoning yourself. I know a lot of people and they go, oh, I do a detox every spring. No, you need to detox every day, and you need to stop poisoning yourself. That's what you need to do. And then, you have a stab at better health. So I'm not going to read all of these today, but please do visit my website or my YouTube channel and check out, actually Odyssey too, and check out all the 9 steps to quantum health transformation, specifically in this case, step 6, which comes with 3 parts, step 5 and step 4. Super, super important. And then you can take notes, or if you want to buy the PDF for $3.99, you've got the information right there. And you'll see here, there's an embedded link, so you can see where I got this information from, in case you want to check out to see if I'm telling you the real deal or not. So I'll just say, these are really common products that are found in personal care products and in cleaning products and in toothpaste, where you're putting it inside your mouth. Wow, you need to educate yourself. When you read the label, there should be no chemicals. Sometimes you'll get the Latin name for a botanical that's natural. That's not a chemical. And anything that's clearly a chemical, and Google to see if the ingredients are chemicals, yeah, don't use them. Just don't use them. You don't need them. Besides, I'm going to show you how to make your own products for pennies, so you don't need them. So there's DEA, MEA, and TEA. And these are three chemicals, are hormone disrupting chemicals that can cause, that are cancer causing agents. There's phthalates and parabens. So, you know, when you want to light a candle because you want to have a nice therapeutic bath, or you want to create some ambiance, people are burning paraffin and, paraben. I guess this is a different thing. I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell you about the candles anyway. Sorry about that. I'm a bit tired today, and yesterday I had so many problems with the internet and my computer and everything. I'm a bit discombobulated today. But I'll just tell you about the candles. So the paraffins that are most candles are made out of, especially cheap candles and candles from the dollar store or those little tea lights, they're very toxic. They give off a toxic fumes that you're breathing in and you're poisoning yourself. So if you're going to use candles, use beeswax, or some other natural kind of occurring wax that's made by God. Bottom line, don't use anything made by humans. The whole everything that they want to sell us is basically causes harm, and it sets us up to make lots of money for the pharmaceutical and medical industries. So anyway, let's get back to this. Sorry, phthalates and parabens. So they've been banned in the European Union since 2003, but they're still using them in Canada, where I live, and in many other countries. And they're chemicals that are commonly used as preservatives in both cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. So here there's toxins being put in your cosmetics and toxins being put in the pharmaceuticals that you're supposed to be taking to help improve your health. And it's just like throwing gasoline on a fire to put it out. It just doesn't work. So basically, these are used because they keep hairspray sticky and bacteria and fungus out of things like nail polish and perfume. F, D, and C color pigments. Oh my God, in the supermarket, they sell these little bottles of food coloring. These are so toxic. And people are putting this in their cupcakes for their kids' birthday parties and doing their nice cakes with all this colored icing. And it's so terribly toxic. Do not use food coloring or color pigments. Don't be fooled by the words food coloring. That doesn't mean that they're healthy. And they cause all kinds of problems: skin sensitivities, irritation, even oxygen depletion in your blood. And these are also found quite often in cosmetics. So I really encourage you to be careful about that. Fragrance. Now, fragrance is in almost everything, and it's a euphemism. It doesn't really mean anything. It could refer to up to 4,000 different ingredients. Oh boy, I'm just going to continue on rather than make a new video. Most fragrances are synthetic, and they're either cancer-causing or otherwise toxic. And exposure to fragrances has been shown to affect the central nervous system, and they're found in most shampoos, deodorant, sunscreen, skincare, and body care products. This includes the products for your babies and your children. Please read the labels and don't use anything with fragrance in it. And another thing I want to talk to you about is Febreze. Febreze doesn't eliminate odor. What Febreze does is it paralyzes your neurotransmitters in your brain so that you don't smell it anymore. Meanwhile, it still stinks. It's still dirty. It doesn't clean anything. It doesn't eliminate odors. That's a lie. It's extremely toxic. Okay, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this one. DMDM hydantoin. And this is a formaldehyde donor. and it's a derivative of formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is what they use to embalm dead people so that they last long enough and don't stink and decay before the funeral. That's what this is. And it's in all kinds of things. This chemical is linked to allergies, chest pain, chronic fatigue, depression, dizziness, ear infections, headaches, joint pain, loss of sleep, and it can trigger asthma. And it weakens the immune system and causes cancer. And it's commonly used in skin, body, and hair products, antiperspirants, and nail polish. So please do read your labels. One of these chemicals might be causing your health problems, and you're going to the doctor. He doesn't know anything about any of this, just gives you pills, and then you're taking that on top of using the toxic chemicals. It's not a good way to get better. In fact, I don't see how you can. And then there's quaternium-15, which often causes dermatitis. So, and because it's a formaldehyde derivative. So you might find that if it's in one of your products and you're using it, you might end up with really bad eczema or skin conditions, and you don't realize that it might be in your body wash. Isopropyl alcohol. Oh my God. Everywhere you go, people are just pumping out the hand sanitizer. It's so toxic for your liver. It's absorbed through your skin very easily. And it's also used in hair color rinses, body rubs, hand lotion, aftershave lotion, and it actually destroys your intestinal flora. And it leaves your organs open to parasites, and it causes cancer. And do some research on your intestinal flora. I'll get into that next time when I do part 2 of step 6, but it can cause dizziness, headaches, liver problems, mental depression, nausea, vomiting, and coma. So people have got their little kids out with their hands out pumping this hand sanitizer. It's disgusting. And I'm going to give you a replacement for that that's completely natural and will only cost you pennies to make for yourself. Mineral oil. Oh my God, baby oil is 100% mineral oil and 100% bad for your baby's sensitive skin. What it does is it plugs all your pores so that you're not able to absorb oxygen and you're not able to sweat properly, and it's just very, very bad for your body. Polyethylene glycol, we hear a little bit about that. It's mostly used in spray-on oven cleaners and in many hair and skin products because it's really good at dissolving oil and grease. But it also removes the protective oils off your skin and your hair, making them more vulnerable to other toxins. Propylene glycol. Propylene glycol is the active ingredient in antifreeze, and it's also used in makeup, toothpaste, and deodorant. Stick deodorants have a higher concentration of PG than what is allowed for most industrial use. Direct contact can cause brain, liver, and kidney abnormalities. And the EPA requires that workers wear protective gloves, clothing, and goggles when they're working with it. Yet the FDA says, hey, you can put it in your mouth. It's in your toothpaste. Surprise, surprise. It's the last thing you want being put in your mouth. Sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate, both can be called SLS. And it's one of the most toxic ingredients on my list. How I found out about it is I was just having so many migraines. And for years and years, I was having migraines. And I took all the pills, and they didn't work after a while because I got kind of what they call tolerance. I built up tolerance to the pain medication, and then it didn't work anymore. I'd have to switch to another one. And all of those drugs are extremely addictive. And I was taking them all the time. And then one day I was out at a drugstore looking for a new kind of shampoo because I had run out, and I heard 2 women talking about sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate. They were very careful to make sure it wasn't a component of the shampoo they were going to buy. And I started talking to them, and they were telling me about it, and I went, holy smokes, I wonder if that's what's causing my headaches. So I bought a product that didn't have any SLS in it. And by the way, SLS is in all the pump hand soaps, shampoos. Oh my God, it's in everything, especially even products that are labeled as fully natural and healthy and green. Oh my God, it's in everything. It's in makeup, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste. It can cause eye damage, depression, diarrhea, and many other ailments. So what happened in my case? I made sure I stopped using it, and guess what? My headaches got better, and now I rarely get a headache. I never have to take head pain medication for head pain. Not since I found this out. And I found this out back when I was getting the download. This all came, the quantum health transformation actually came to me in a download, the basics. And then I did research and I found out how to flesh out the information so that I could produce this program for you. Yeah, no, please read your labels. Please learn to be a good label reader. It's so important. It's self-defense, guys. And you know, any one of these things may not kill you or give you cancer or create mental illness, but when they're used in combinations, along with fake food and fast food and pharmaceuticals and other things that are being sprayed in the air or added to the water, it's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. Everywhere you turn, you're being poisoned. And what does that do? Oh man, it not only sells all these products that you don't need, but it sets you up for a lifetime of pharmaceuticals and the medical industry. Triclosan is a synthetic antibacterial ingredient, and it's been compared to Agent Orange. You're probably familiar with Agent Orange. It's what they sprayed all the Vietnamese people with during the Vietnam War. Caused all kinds of problems to the American soldiers as well as the Vietnamese soldiers and regular people. And so bad for you. It disrupts your hormones. It can affect your sexual function and fertility. So if there's triclosan in some products you're using, and you might not be able to get it up, you might go to the doctor and then he gives you a pill that helps you get a stiffy. Well, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't seem to be the right way of doing things. And then there's talcum powder, talc's in everything. And they put a lot of talc into white rice. And so that's why you need to wash your rice at least 3 times before you cook it to eat it. And petrolatum, again, this is a carbon product, a petrochemical, and it contains 2 well-known carcinogens, benzoapyrene and benzobifluoranthene. Anyway, and you don't want anything that's petrol, like Vaseline put on your skin. You never, ever want to do that. And so now I want to talk about some alternatives. So I've told you what to stop using. Now I'm going to give you some suggestions on what you can use that can help replace those products. And again, as I've said before, for a fraction of the cost. So save yourself a whole bunch of money, save your health, and just consider, this information. So I'm just starting with some soap. Dr. Bronner's Magic Soap is by far, one of my favorites. But the problem is they stopped using hemp oil and they switched to palm oil. And it's wiping out all the trees, causing deforestation. And so, although I will still use it, and I do still use it, I'm mindful of the fact that they don't use hemp anymore. And instead, I mostly use products from Neza Naturals, and the link here would take you right to their website. By the way, I don't get any money for promoting any of these brands. This is all just from the goodness of my heart, sharing what works for me, and hopefully will also work really well for you. But I'm not getting paid for any promotion or anything for suggesting these products. Just want you to know. So Neza Naturals has a product very similar to Dr. Bronner's Magic Soap, but it's also made from a hemp oil base, which is, hemp is so cheap and easy to grow. You don't even need pesticides with it because it's such a hardy plant. So, but anyway, both brands are very economical because you actually, when you buy it, it's in concentrated form. Some people don't know that. It may or may not say so on the label anymore, but you just need a little tiny bit and then fill the container up with water and, not shake it, but kind of rotate it till it gets dissolved, and there you go. So, a bottle may cost you $12, but it's going to last you for a long, long time, because the one bottle of either Dr. Bronner's or the soaps from Neza Naturals will make you probably 8 bottles. So when you look at it from that perspective, you're actually saving money. So I used to have super long hair. It got really hard to manage, and so I got it cut, as you will notice. But this is what my hair looked like when I first made the Quantum Health Transformation Program, and I was using Dr. Bronner's soap. And all I ever use on my hair is Dr. Bronner's or the natural soap from Neza Naturals. And then after I rinse the soap out, I put apple cider vinegar, starting with putting it on my head and then working it through my hair, and then rinse that out. It's just fantastic. So where I live now, the water's very hard, and people use a lot of cream rinses to try to soften their hair. But all you need is a little apple cider vinegar, and it strips all those minerals off your hair. I mean, the ones that are added from the water, and helps your hair to be so beautiful and so soft. And the other thing I like about Dr. Bronner's magic soap is, if you read the label, he's got inspiring messages written all over the bottle, which I believe has a positive effect on the product. And for where I'm getting my evidence for this, there's a link here to Dr. Masaru Emoto. He's passed on now. I have several of his books, and I was actually communicating to him for permission to use some of his snowflake-like images that came from how his showing how messages affect the structure of water. And so the messages on the Dr. Bronner soap bottle have a positive effect on the soap as well. And I think that's why Dr. Bronner called this his magic soap. So again, please note that I am in no way paid for any endorsement found in this PDF or the videos that go with it. So now we're going to talk about my go-to for, wow, so many things. It's called Thieves Oil, and the brand I like is Marseille's Remedy. There's a picture of the bottle right there. Shows the doctors. So I'll just tell you briefly how this was created originally. It was during the bubonic plague, and the economy was completely destabilized in Europe from so many people being sick. Kind of sounds like today, huh? And there was a group of men who used to be perfume and spice merchants, and they found that by combining specific spices and herbs, they created this essential oil that prevented them from getting sick. So the king's men arrested them, caught them stealing, valuables off of dead bodies, because there was no work and people had to eat, and threw them in jail. And the king asked to see them. I think this was in France. And he asked to see them. And what they were doing is, thieves were burnt by fire. That's how they were killed. And so the king promised that he wouldn't burn them if they gave over their recipe. And that's how, believe it or not, Thieves Oil came into existence. It's a very, very simple recipe, but very, very effective. After the thieves gave their recipe to the king had them hung instead of burnt. But which I think he was a bit of a dirty, rotten scoundrel for doing that. But anyway, that's how history is full of that kind of stuff. And so what I do is I take a super kind of healthy basic ointment, And I've got the link here to A Rescue Self by Healing Bliss Botanicals, just as an example, but you can buy your own. Neza Naturals also sells unscented salve that you can also use on your body, on your skin, or on your body. It's very healthy. And what I do is I open the jar and I just shake in about 5 drops of the thieves oil. And then I just take a little bit, rub it on my hands, put it around my face, put it on my hands before I go out in public. And of course, I'll wash my hands when I come home from being out in public. And what that does is protects you the same way it protected the thieves from the bubonic plague. I figure, I'm not making a medical claim here, but I figure if it was good enough to prevent them from getting the plague, I think it's probably a good product for us to be using today. So, yeah, so anyway, the picture, oops, I'll just go back. So the picture on this slide shows what the doctors used to do, because after that, the doctors started using these beak-like masks that they stuffed with rags that were dipped in the thieves' oil. And it prevented them from getting sick. And doctors did that for quite a long time. So this is back in the 1400s. So between the 1400s and, what we consider modern medicine, this was standard practice for doctors to use to keep them from getting sick while they were looking after patients that were contagious. So this is super, super important information. Please share this video with your friends and your family so that they can find out about it as well. So I'll just skip through that. Like I said, you can come back and you can read it all if you want to. Just pause the video. And today there are literally hundreds of uses for a traditional thieves oil, and there is a wealth of information stating that it's effective in a wide range of applications, and I use it all the time as a safe alternative to chemicals and antifungal disinfectants. Now, there's one caution I want to throw out there. Whatever brand of thieves oil that you use, make sure it's organic and chemical free, because not all essential oils are created equal. Marseille's remedy can be used in the same manner as oregano or tea tree oil, essential oils, and it's a preventative aid and an immune system booster. So by using it, you're actually boosting your immune system. It kills mold. You can use it as a hand sanitizer. It cleans phlegm and congestion away. It increases your immunity. It relieves inflammation due to topical infections. It eliminates airborne pathogens and foul odors. It's an effective fungicide for your feet, your hands, your head, and airborne. It aids in the prevention and elimination of oral fungal infections such as candida, and it deters mites, lice, worms, and fleas. So it's a perfect remedy, for scabies or head lice or anything like that as well. And so here I say that I use about 9 drops of thieves oil into an all-purpose natural ointment, like 100% rescue salve by Healing Bliss Botanicals. And here's the link if you want to order that. And if you want to go back to the Neza Naturals link, they also have a comparable product. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, but as you can see, these are some of the additional uses for Marseille's remedy thieves oil. And thieves oil includes rosemary, cinnamon, lemon, rosemary, cinnamon, lemon, I think, and eucalyptus. Yeah, that's the magic combination. So I'll let you come back to this and pause it and read this over. This is just so many ways of using thieves oil, to help you with your health and your comfort and boost your immune system. And if you get one that's non-toxic, which is what I'm suggesting, you can even put a drop into your cup of tea to add flavor to it and to help your body systemically from within as well. I've got a thing here about the Hero Soap Company. So my friend Chris Matthew of Forbidden Knowledge News and I'm part of the Forbidden Knowledge News Network, bless his heart. And he has a sponsor called the Hero Soap Company, and it's really, really pure soap. It's in bars, like bar soap. And when you buy it, it actually helps to support veterans, which is really, really important. This is an American company. It supports American veterans, but it's also a really clean, non-toxic source for soaps, for those of you who prefer a bar soap over perhaps a liquid soap. And I'd also like to recommend Divine Essence Organic Essential Oils. I've used these a lot because I'm very chemical sensitive, but my body responds really well to these products. And again, the link is in the PDF. And if you want to buy them, they're also available in quite a few health food stores as well. So here I've given you the components of what you can use instead of the chemicals. And now it's time for me to talk to you a bit more about how to make your own healthy personal care products. So I'm not going to read all of this today, but you can, like I said before, you can pause this video and read it for yourself, or you can buy the primer, or you can watch the primer video, which is fully narrated and has the same information on it, and perhaps even a little bit more. So this is, again, these are all the different scents that Dr. Bronner's soap comes in. It's amazing stuff. I like the peppermint because it makes me feel kind of tingly and fresh. And the peppermint is also antibacterial and antifungal and I was going to say antiviral. So all of these products are that in themselves, but then when you add essential oils, as I'm going to show you how to do, it makes the products even better at protecting you and helping you. So let me see. Oh, I wanted to say something about sunshine. If you gather your vitamin D from sunshine, remember that it takes at least 24 hours after exposure for your body to process and absorb the vitamin D into your skin. So I would recommend that you don't, that you use a mild soap as often as you feel comfortable or used to using, but I wouldn't do a lot of exfoliating every day. I would do that like once a week, because exfoliation will remove, and if you're doing it every day, it will remove the whole process that gives you your vitamin D. And natural vitamin D from the sun is way better than taking it from a bottle. We're just living in a very pill-oriented society. So that was the soaps that you can just use as they are. And then, you can add a little bit, like fill about a quarter of a pump bottle or a third, depending on how thick you want it, and then fill it up with water. And that's it. That's what all you have to do for your liquid soap that you're going to use in the bathroom or by the kitchen sink, or you might want to even take a bottle with you in your backpack, because some of those soaps, when you go to Walmart or Costco, they're pretty toxic, and better to just stay away from all the chemicals and use natural products. So how to take a soothing and detoxifying bath? That's easy. Just fill up your tub and add sea salt, baking soda, and clay with your bath, as much as you want, and soak for at least half an hour. Now, under my Zendome's Organite playlist on YouTube, I've got 4 new videos that are all about how to take a therapeutic bath. So that also includes things like different herbs that you can add to your bath, orgone generators that help restructure the water, Epsom salts. There's so many things that you can add to a bath that really helps your body to relax. Nice, deep level of relaxation, which also helps your immune system. And also there's different things to help you. What's interesting is when you take a bath, especially in the wintertime, well, at any time, But in the wintertime, if you live in a cold environment like I do, you can't get to the ground to do your grounding exercises, but you can take a bath. And all of the plumbing, at least in Western societies, all the plumbing is grounded to the earth. So when you're in a salty bath and you're connected to the plumbing, which connects you to the earth, and you're actually grounding without even having to go outside. So that's also important to know. So homemade antibacterial hand soap with essential oils. Again, this is from Neza Natural. This is one of their natural products. And they're already antibacterial in themselves. But if you want, you can add a few drops of organic, natural, high quality essential oil to help boost their antibacterial properties. And basically you just add some soap to a pump bottle and you add a few drops of essential oils and you're good to go. And there's more information here about the kinds that you may want to try. And I have a little box here that also suggests that you do a little allergy test on yourself first, just to make sure you're not going to have any reaction. Chances are you won't, but I just felt it was good to put that in there in case. So homemade antibacterial hand soaps with essential oils. The recipe calls for Neza Naturals or Dr. Bronner's Peppermint Magic Soap, 3 drops of the Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil, or 3 drops of lemon, lavender, or peppermint essential oil. And then you need a foam or a pump dispenser. And you just very easily mix them up and add them to the bottle and you're good to use it. Again, you can stop this video and read this over as many times as you want until you've kind of figured out how to do it. It's not hard, but I may not be verbally saying enough, and I know this is being streamed out of Spreaker, so it's going to iHeartRadio, it's going to Spotify, it's going to all kinds of audio podcast platforms where you may not be able to actually even see this, but do go to my website or my YouTube channel and check out the audio and visual version of this podcast so that you can just get the full benefit. Our time is precious. I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your time. So I think it's a good idea, to have a little look. Now, homemade natural hand sanitizer. I got to tell you how I found out about this. I went to the health food store to get some natural hand sanitizer, in a little bottle, little pump bottle, spray bottle. And I looked and it was like, I don't know, $18. And I went, holy shit, you got to be kidding me. I looked at the ingredients and I went, I can make this for next to nothing. So what you would want is 5 to 10 drops of the Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil. And I'm going to recommend Marseille's, even though I'm not getting paid for it, because it's just such a great product and I love it so much. But you might find another Thieves that's pure and natural and organic that you could use instead. That's up to you. You want to add 30 drops of the recommended liquid soap, as I have previously discussed, and 1 tablespoon of witch hazel in a grain alcohol base, or you can use high proof vodka or Everclear. You don't need very much, just a tablespoon. And that is not that is not isopropyl alcohol. That's grain alcohol, like what's in booze. And it's not harmful when it's put on your skin. It's a different thing. If you're going to use a gel dispenser, you might need 8 ounces of 100% pure aloe vera gel. And then you need 8 ounces of filtered water to use with a plastic but BPA-free spray dispenser bottles. So you can get spray dispenser bottles almost anywhere. And I use the spray dispenser bottles rather than the gel. That takes a whole step out, makes it easier, makes it cheaper. And I just fill up one of these little bottles. I buy the little ones. I keep them in my purse. I keep them in my backpack. I keep them in the car. I keep them everywhere. So if I just want to quick spray my hands, it smells fantastic. And give it a little shake before you spray and it's good enough. You're good to go. I'm not kidding. This will cost you pennies. $18 for a little spray bottle of natural hand sanitizer. I don't think so. Anyway, so that's how you do that. And then let's see. Homemade natural hand sanitizer. I guess I got a little bit more to say about that. This hand sanitizer recipe uses none of the harmful chemicals contained in commercially prepared hand sanitizers and relies on pure essential oils and grain alcohol to kill the germs. One of the unique qualities of essential oils is they do not cause bacterial resistance like antibacterial chemicals do. So you're not going to build up a tolerance, and the germs and the bugs and the viruses are not going to build up a tolerance to it. It'll work every time. And are actually effective in killing strains of bacteria that have become resistant to our man-made medicines and chemicals. Exactly. Sometimes it's actually good for our bodies to encounter germs to strengthen our immune system. But other times it's nice to have a hand sanitizer available. This gentle homemade formula is one of the best alternatives to commercial hand sanitizers that I have found. Now, since I made this, actually, Thieves Oil, the Marseille's Thieves Oil that I recommended, they actually have come out with a couple of new products, and one of them is a spray hand sanitizer, but it's going to cost you a lot more than making it at home. Homemade face and body oil. Okay, so for this, what you want is, I'll just read. You fill a glass or ceramic pump dispenser with any cold-pressed, unadulterated, unrefined oil. And I don't recommend seed oils. I recommend olive oil or grapeseed oil or apricot pit olive or hemp oil, because most of the seed oils are highly refined, highly processed, and often toxic, and you don't want anything toxic going on your skin. So you just fill a pump with that, and then you add several drops of Divine Essence essential oil for aromatic and therapeutic effect, and then you shake it up, and that's it. It's ready to use. So rose, lavender, or bergamot are very soothing. Lemon heals the skin, and peppermint is antiseptic. Coconut oil works well too, but it needs to be heated slightly into a liquid state before adding and mixing in the essential oils. What I do is I just take a small mason jar and I put in some coconut oil, and I put it in a pot with water on it on low heat until it melts. And then I shake in some of my essential oils, stir it up, and then I just put it in the bathroom. And it'll go back to a solid state unless it's summertime and hot in the house, in which case it will stay a liquid. But you just, if it is solid, you just scoop a little bit up with your finger and rub it in your hands. It melts very, very quickly. And then you can put it on your face. You can put it on your body. Coconut oil gets absorbed very quickly into the skin, and it's very good for you. So that's another great way to make your face and body oil. And again, it's going to cost you pennies to make it. And then I recommend what I call the healthy facial. So what I do is I use a little bit of the natural soap and warm water, and I just wash my face, and then I just dab it dry. You can, if you're using bar soap, just swish it around in the water and then put in a soft cotton washcloth. And you can wash your face and neck. You don't have to rake it on your skin. You can be gentle with yourself. And then dab it dry, and then put on some Divine Essence floral water. Floral water is derived from plants, and it just is ever so good for your skin, and it helps your skin to rejuvenate, and it feels absolutely fantastic. And then just take a couple of drops of the face and body oil that I told you how to make, and just put that on your face, and oh my God, it feels so good. And I'm not kidding, pennies. I know women that spend $50, $100 on their moisturizers because it's got this and that and the next thing. It's supposed to make you look young. A lot of those products actually contain the same chemicals that they use for tanning leather to help preserve your face. No, thank you. So all of those face cleansers, creams, and moisturizers that they sell as beauty products are a complete waste of money, and most are toxic. Try the real thing and see how your body responds to this simple pleasure. And this goes for men and women. We both want to take care of our skin and do the best that we can. So that's how to make the products. And again, I recommend that you actually buy this PDF, but if you want to, you can just stop the video and read the different pages for yourself. And if you are listening to an audio-only podcast, I recommend you visit my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Holton has 2 O's. If you put in an E either end, you're not going to find my website. So, and then just click on the free resources tab and then click on Quantum Health Transformation. Find step 6, click on that, and then watch this video. And you can, and it's, like I said, it's narrated. So you get the written and you can hear it. And so I hope that helps you. Almost done. A word about deodorant. When we detoxify ourselves and we eat real food, as you will discover in Quantum Health Transformation Step 5, which is next time. Next time I don't have a guest for whatever reason. We do not produce very much stink. So we may want to wash our armpits and our private bits, every day, but the rest of the body is actually pretty good. And I haven't worn deodorant in probably over 10 years. So, if I smell bad, I just need a little wash. That's all. And nothing wrong with that. Daily cleansing is usually good enough. And there are natural crystals to help out if necessary. Many people don't need deodorant at all. So consider improving your lifestyle and throw out your deodorant. It's extremely toxic. And those chemicals are absorbed right into your lymphatic system. So you know how there's so many people getting breast cancer, both men and women, might have something to do with the deodorant. And then there are then consider your clothing, especially your underwear. Wear clothing made from natural fabrics as often as possible. Synthetics interfere with your subtle energy system, and they can degrade when they get warm and sweaty, outgassing toxic chemicals into your skin. And one other thing is food storage containers. Consider using glass. Mason jars are fantastic. And there's all kinds of even cheap glass food storage containers at the dollar store. And that's way better than using plastics because you want to minimize your toxic exposure. I know we can't live in a bubble, but we're trying to go for some harm reduction, and harm reduction definitely makes sense. So now I want to talk a little bit about household cleaning products. It just makes me cringe when I see all these advertisements for all these harsh cleaning products, and the models or the actors or actresses or whatever you call them that are demonstrating for the commercial, they're not wearing any gloves. That stuff is so terribly, terribly toxic. I can't stress that enough. So as I mentioned before about Febreze, it does not get rid of the stink or the odor. It tricks your brain into thinking that the stink is gone. It paralyzes your brain neurons, which is definitely not good for you. And if fragrance and Febreze make you feel sick, this is a good thing. This is your body's own warning system letting you know that these products are not good for you. So I encourage you not to fall for the media hype. Pretty much everything in your home can be cleaned and sanitized using salt, vinegar, baking soda, or an all-natural liquid soap. Salt is the great purifier. It is the great preservative. So it will kill all kinds of microbes and things that aren't good for you. Salt water will sterilize. Vinegar will also sterilize and cuts through grime and grease. You don't need synthetic chemicals to clean anything. Google the alternatives like Norwex and save tons of money. Now, the link for this, for Norwex, the gal that was selling Norwex, she may or may not still be selling it, so I'm not sure if this link will work. But you can put Norwex into any search engine and find those products. And they're amazing. Basically, they're a bunch of products that are super healthy and chemical free, but they also have things like rags that you can buy that you don't use any cleaner at all. They've got silver embedded right into the fabric, and that's what kills the germs. And you can reuse those cloths over and over and over again. You know, one day I was out with my son and he had a van, and it had been raining and there was mud all over the windows. And he had one of these Norwex glass cleaning rags. And he went outside and he cleaned the windows, and he came in and then he used it to clean his glasses, and it worked fantastic. Just fantastic. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. And again, I do not get paid for promotion. So you may also want to switch to a plant-based laundry detergent and dish soap, which are natural source and contain no fragrance. Now, essential oil is different. That's not fragrance. That's essential oil. And that's something that you can use products that make use of essential oils. I have from Neza Natural some really fabulous dish soap, and it's got, let me see, I can't remember, rosemary and lime, I think, essential oils in it. It's just lovely. It makes washing the dishes much nicer too. So the other thing is always use non-latex gloves when you're using any cleaning product to protect your skin. Now, you may not need it for salt, baking soda, vinegar, essential oils, but if you are ever using, oven cleaner or something where you just can't get away from the chemicals, please use some latex-free gloves. Latex is a horrible product, and I'm allergic to it, like a lot of chemicals, and it's just not good for you. So you want to go with the non-latex gloves whenever you can. So, conclusion to part 1. Now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself and have found ways to detoxify your external self, it's time to move on to Quantum Health Transformation 2.0, Step 6, Yellow, Detoxify and the Power of Emotion, Primer, Part 2, Internal Detoxification. And that is everything to do with what we put in our mouth, the next lesson. So this is the external detoxification, and next time will be internal. And I want you to feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your integration program. I'm very grateful to all the forces and beings that assist me with the production of this 9-step online course. And this online course is free. If you would like to support my work, please consider purchasing some of my beautiful Zen Domes orgone generators, which are available from my website. Okay, so that's the lessons for today. I know it's a lot, but it's really super, super important. So once we stop poisoning ourselves and we learn how to use products that we can make ourselves for just pennies, we're saving all kinds of money, we're boosting our immune system, we're feeling better. And guess what? If you have obesity issues, you may even find that you lose a lot of weight. It was really funny how it happened for me. Not funny, ha-ha, but funny in a way how it happened for me. I weighed over 320 pounds all my adult life. And then I got really sick. And what it was my body was fed up with all the chemicals I was using and chemicals I was ingesting. And I was poisoning myself. And my body rebelled, and I became acutely aware of everything that wasn't good for me. This coincided with, at the same time or shortly thereafter, I got my download for the program. And I wasn't surprised that detoxification was such an important part of the Quantum Health Transformation program. Anyway, I lost a lot of weight. I actually lost a bit too much weight for a while there. And now I've put a few pounds on in my old age, but I'm still way healthier and weigh 150 pounds less than what I weighed before. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I guess that's about it for today. So I'll let you go and hope you come back next week for the next episode of the Quantum Guide Show. And I wish you the very, very best and sending you much love, much light, and just hope you have the best week ever. We'll see you next week on the Quantum Guide Show. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for the Quantum Guide Show. Become the change you wish to see in the world. Subscribe to Karen's YouTube channel, click the like button, and share this show with your friends. Check out Karen's website at KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com. All the links are available in the description box below. Until the next time, keep up the good work.
Surrendering to endlessness puts all my inner strife to rest. For time gives birth to hurriedness. It all makes sense, well, more or less. And the sages put me to their test. With heart and soul, I do my best to find the answers to my quest. I wonder and I must confess, I don't know where it comes from, but I know it's okay. If this is all an illusion, then I'm willing to play. It's okay. It's okay.